the internal APC matter. There was the World Congresses that were conducted across the states of the Federation by the APC yesterday. And in some states, which we're going to be picking two samples of those states tonight to discuss, there are grievances and disagreements between the factions in the party, whether or not to go by the consensus decision of election or not. In Osun State, some group loyal to the Minister of Interior and the former governor, Rauf Aregbesola, are not happy with the manner the World Congress in Osun State was handled by the Governor Oyetola-led group. And in Lagos, a group known as the Lagos for Lagos is aggrieved about the exercise. We have all of these sides to speak on the matter tonight. Perhaps we should begin from Osogbo, where we have the aggrieved party here. Joining me in Lagos is Mr. Jide Adediran. He's the coordinator of the Lagos for Lagos. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Let me come to you naturally, Mr. Adediran. What happened? You sort of have emerged in the Lagos APC, and you've started this Lagos for Lagos process. But for those who believe that you are not of the mainstream in the APC in Lagos, and yesterday you seem to be unhappy with the World Congress, some of them have described you as an outsider. What is your grievance about yesterday's exercise?
All right, thank you very much, Sheon. Yesterday's exercise, the way we perceived it, the only exercise that happened yesterday that we know is the Congress that we participated in across all the 245 wards. Before yesterday, the Dr. Bashir Mohammed 7-man committee that came from Abuja to conduct the exercise called a stakeholders meeting. At the meeting, he read out the guidelines. What we asked him, two things. One, if you're here to conduct what Congress is, you need to constitute another 3-man, committee per ward that will work alongside you. Or is it this 7-man that is going to work, or the 245 wards? That was the question we're asking. So no committee was in place. As at 5 p.m., a night before, the evening before the Congress Day. So, and the second question we ask him, are you aware that some of us, we have paid? One of the guidelines of the party is that there will be nomination forms. You have to pay a certain amount, which we did. For 1 week now, we've been trying to get a form after payment. The delegation that came from Abuja to do this said that the governor has hijacked the nomination forms from them. And I asked Dr. Bashir, you're organizing or conducting a World Congresses tomorrow. What forms have you? Who are the aspirants? Or, who are you conducting this exercise for? And, his response was like he doesn't have any business with forms and all of those things. And in my own thinking, even if you are sent to do an archer job, or for those who want to send somebody to do an archer job, you should send somebody who is a little bit intelligent. You can't come to Lagos and then come and tell us, okay, so what do you do from there?
There are a few things that you said. One, allegation that the governor is involved in this matter.
Absolutely.
You don't have the evidence to that fact, that the governor has hijacked the process.
I do.
Because there was a press conference which we covered,
okay,
and the committee said that there are forms to be sold, and anyone who wants to obtain the form should come and collect the form.
When was this press conference?
It was on Saturday morning.
Exactly. Saturday morning on the day of the World Congresses. Form should have closed from Friday. That is the guidelines of the party, that the form will be open for sales between specific time, and it closes on the 30th of July.
Because of the committee told us that the reason why they addressed the press conference was because of the grievance for people like you who think that they have been sidelined in the process, and they wanted to make it clear that we can even extend the collection of form by another few hours.
So what time was this press conference?
It was in the morning at 9 a.m.
At 9 a.m. Have you seen the response of Dr. Bashir, who said the exercise started at 8 a.m. across the 245 wards? How do you marry that with his claim or with your own claim now that you had a press conference at 9 a.m.?
I'm a journalist
you were at the press conference.
Yes,
at 9 a.m.
Absolutely. And
exactly.
And
that was when he told you form was available.
Some of your Lagos for Lagos group were also there. And the question is that why didn't you ask them? Why didn't you insist on the process and the procedure?
We were not at the press conference.
But we were at the press conference on Friday.
Of course, we were at the stakeholders meeting on Friday with him, and that was where we asked him that, look, we have paid, we've made payment for the past 1 week. These are tellers, evidence of payment that we've paid to the coffers of the party, and we still don't have funds to be part of the process you're conducting tomorrow. So if you're conducting this process, who are the aspirant that you are conducting this process for? Then secondly is that you are here to conduct a process, in the entire 245 wards, and just 7 of you are here. You ought to have constituted another 3-man per ward committee that will work around, the entire 245 wards with you. Who are these committee members? What's their name? Where are they working?
Was that work
My
for
word.
Consensus?
Listen, consensus, of course, first thing you have to do is to constitute a committee, whether or not we're going to go into consensus. Consensus now means that 2-3 people are sitting together. We want to see how we can harmonize. If you have a dissenting voice, just one, there must be an elective
GAC, which is a very powerful bloc in Lagos APC, the Governor's Advisory Committee, some of the elders of the APC in Lagos, they came together early last week and they categorically said that this is the way they were going. And they've made those kind of stand over the years. Did you hear about that?
Actually, you have a copy of APC Constitution with you. This is it.
Yeah.
Have you gone through it? Did you see anything called GSC in that Constitution?
No, but
the fact that you have been doing something over and over again doesn't make it right.
The extra procedural procedures that you politicians make, it's not my business as a journalist.
No, I'm just calling your attention.
No. I understand where you're coming from, but if the way and manner, I can't brief for your party because that is the way you wanted to operate. That's where you have operated your house. And so if the elders of the party who have preceded your time of coming into the party have said, this is the way we want to run the party, do you have objection to what they said?
Of course, I would have objection to it because, again, why did my parents send me to school? What all the exposure? What do I do with it? Why should I take directive from a party that is not known to the constitution of our political party? I mean, who does that? So we're saying, and look at the name, Governor's Advisory Council. It doesn't have anything to do with APC as a political party. If their job is to advise the governor, there are a lot of things they need to advise the governor on.
Against the former governor, Akinwumi Ambode.
That is big.
They were very instrumental in the removal, in not allowing him run the first.
Do you want to hear the truth? That GAC is just one person's name. It just brought some people together and say GAC take decision. It's one person taking decision.
Let's hear from what's it called? The Osun side of the divide. Mr. Ismail Omipidon, I understand that he's back with us. Give us a sense, because the question I asked before we lost the connection with you, I don't know if you can hear me now. Great, I can see you now, Mr. Omipidon. The other side, those loyal to the Minister of the Interior and the former governor, said you've sidelined them from the Governor Yetola's side of things, that you have sidelined the Aggrieved group, and that the consensus, they did not agree to it.
Yeah, correct. Don't forget the exercise on Saturday. That was even 7-man committee. The man what they call the Osun Progressive had announced their intention to go for a parallel Congress. There was a stakeholders meeting that was duly and this stakeholders meeting were attended by all within the APC in the state. It had the Senate spokesperson, Bola Bashiru. It was a meeting with former deputy governors from the state, where we had leaders from the 9 federal constituencies in the state. A meeting where we had the governor, committee chairman of the state, and the committee from Abuja. And so nobody sidelined anybody. perhaps they probably stayed away from the stakeholders meeting. But even if they deliberately stayed away from the stakeholders meeting, those who attended the stakeholders meeting showed clearly that they were perhaps in the majority, where you have those leaders that I wonder who is the state of Osun.
No, but I mean, if you're saying that there are places where the Congress held yesterday where the so-called consensus model did not work. So if you say that the stakeholders met on the consensus model.
To the best of my knowledge, I am not aware where the consensus didn't work. Only place I was told somewhere around the just one word, and eventually the man had 200 behind him, as against who was shouting, who had about his majority, because before the Congress there had been series of stakeholders meetings, party leaders, party members on what they wanted, and even this was again read. So, to the best of my knowledge, of the 330, I am not aware that we had any issue. And if you look at the way the Congress went yesterday, vis-a-vis the noise being made by some parts of the party who are calling themselves of the Osun Progressive Talk, if indeed there were, what I expected was if a contest in at least more than half of the 332 words that we have. That was just maybe 1 or 2 or 3 words, including Speaker of the State in the Jigbo local government, Najin Salam. Apart from that, of the 232 words, I didn't see any way it showed any presence.
All right. So I'll come back to you in a moment. We'll bring in Honorable Alimi just in a moment, who is one of those who are aggrieved. What is your next step of action now? Because Lagos for Lagos, you guys are saying that you have been shut out of the House. What congresses, local government congress and state congresses, they are the very pedestal of how candidates can emerge, because these are the owners of the party. So where do you go from here?
We've not been shut out. You see, this game is a game of numbers, okay? Like I said to you, we paid for forms. We have evidence of payment. We have a list of potential party officers who are now party officers as a result of the exercise we carried out yesterday, because we had our Congress yesterday. We affirmed them yesterday.
So you did a parallel Congress?
Absolutely. We're the only group that had an exercise yesterday. I went to my ward, and we went there. We affirmed all the party officers of
Lagos,
the group.
Lagos for Lagos APC faction
Absolutely.
held his own ward Congress.
Absolutely, yesterday.
Different from what the national held.
What did national? There wasn't anything.
Wasn't the one that was conducted by the national body?
Because the national body didn't conduct anything in Lagos. Didn't conduct anything in Lagos. We told Dr. Bashir that look, we have paid.
What did Lagos?
We have evidence of payment for forms. We have our list. So you didn't tell us what is going to happen, no committee. Okay, so what we did was to just go to the field, file out, affirmed all our... Because even if we're going into consensus, I'm sure, this is how it works. If we sit down 3 or 4 of us and we decide to say we are bringing our list together, harmonizing it together. Yesterday, there's something we call affirmation of those who would have gone out, file out and affirm them. So nothing of such happened in Lagos. If it happened, the governor of the state should be somewhere in his ward doing same. All of the commissioners should be somewhere in their ward doing same. We were on the field yesterday. We did affirm all our own candidates for the party officers across. And what we're doing next is to attach our evidence of payment, evidence of the affirmation that we did with our list, everything, and we'll take it to Abuja. This is the rest of what we conducted.
Let me allow Honorable Kolapo Alimi, a former commissioner for local government in Osun State, who is of the Rauf Adegbeshola group in Osun State. the Aggrieved party here. Honorable Alimi, what went wrong? What are your grievances?
Good evening, Sean. Good evening, Nigerians, and thank you for having me. I hope you are hearing me live now.
Absolutely. Please go ahead.
I want our governor, Ogbeni Itala. Actually, when he came, we thought we are one, but along the line, he divided the party. He used to favor his own group. So, in respect of this Congress, sir, when the people from Abuja who were to sell the form when they arrived the states, the governor invited them to a meeting, and after the meeting, he told them point blank that nobody will purchase the form and that he will buy all the forms. He bought all the forms with about 26 million naira plus with a single teller. And so he started telling the whole world that what is going to happen is that he will give the form to his loyalists and cronies. So we thought he was actually joking, but when we discovered that he really meant the business, we sent people to Abuja and we obtained forms. You know, in our own group, we obtained forms for individual, one by one, because the people contributed the money. For the governor's group, he obtained only one form. So when the Honorable Benga Beleye, who is the chairman of the state committee, very, very late, around 4 p.m. on Friday, we've been expecting him to come. We thought when he comes, the whole thing will be settled. And so when the Honorable arrived, the governor welcomed him, and the 6 p.m. land invited people for stakeholder. They didn't invite that. Look at the perspective. People do not go where the stakeholder in this state, the former speaker of this state, Right Honorable Najun Salam, is he not a stakeholder in this state? Eda Alowa Adebiyi, former chairman of the party, is he not a stakeholder in this state? The secretary of the party, Honorable Razak Salisile, is he not a stakeholder? They didn't do that. They invited the companies and they agreed on consensus. Consensus remains. Whereby everybody agree. In these situations, we have plenty of people that have obtained form in their own name, personally, one by one. They have obtained form, they have filled the form, then when they now said they want to force consensus on everybody.
Honorable Alimi, let me get a clarification from you. You are aggrieved about the sales of form and how the process started. But did you partake in the exercise? Did the exercise hold at all yesterday?
Thank you very much. We partook. What happened was that when we got to the venue of the convention, the Governor Itala group came up with lists, and they said they have only come to information. Our people rejected it, and they said they were not ready for the Congress. When we discovered that they were not ready, we were one who actually conducted congresses. And we have videos. We have videos of where people rejected, where they left. They said the leaders of the party have agreed on consensus. I said, who are the leaders who have agreed on consensus? When some people have obtained forms, what are those who have obtained forms? Are you now saying they are not? They do not have rights to partake in the congresses? And so, what actually happened now is that what happened in Osun is a charade. We did not have properly conducted congresses in Osun. It is only our group that did the Congress.
All right. So, Honorable Alimi, we're out of time, but let me allow just about 20 seconds.
In how many of the world?
Let me allow Mr. Omikpidon just in 30 seconds to respond because we need to close now. Mr. Omikpidon, you heard what the allegations are.
Let me ask him, in how many the election conducted? Is he conducted in his private residence ward? Even when they just do it just to gather themselves to his own local government but just to gather people in president and say they were holding. Find out from the find out from the police, find out from the SSS. The exercise was peaceful. They wanted a result into violence, but we received the opportunity.
All right. We need to leave it at that, gentlemen, because we are out of time. Honorable Kolakpo Alimi, thank you. Mr. Ismail Omipidon, thank you. And Mr. Judah Adedron, thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming tonight. Well, I know that these issues are still very much in the minds and the lips of so many of the APC members, but we keep tabs on the situation. And that's our show for today, everyone. And thanks for watching. I'm sure Kimale. Bye-bye.